Hi, this is Ashley with Right By Me, and forgive me if I sound a little tired. I'm kind of going through it right now. I'm really tired. But I gotta push forward because I am leaving town in like a day. So, by the time this goes up, I will already be out of town. I am gonna have just a bit of a play today, I think. The previous video, I pulled out these, and I was using the Nuvo crystal drops, but all of the things that are, it's kind of hard to tell, but everything that's lower is, turn another light on, is pigment powders. And I thought, let's play around with them a little bit. I love them and I haven't used them in a while, and I purchased them like right before I stopped making cards, like full time. So this is a bit messy. And I do have a glass mat, but I have these little plastic patches on them to prevent the ring lights from like reflecting too much and blinding everyone. And I don't really want to get them wet, so I'm going to use a silicone mat today. And I thought we would just do a couple of things with them. So the first thing I wanted to try is just one of these old book pages. And like stuff like that. So I have no idea in my mind about how I want these to come out. It really is just a play session. So I'm going to just pull out some colors and see what we can get. So I'm going to try this one. This one is called, is that Catherine Wheel? Yeah. So it's got like red and yellow and pink in it. And you need like the world's tiniest amount. In fact, there's probably enough in the cap alone to get us a good, like that's like you can't even tell, but like this, you need like the smallest drizzle, and that's probably like way too much, and it's like you can hardly tell, and I know you can't even see it. You can see like a little bit right there. And then just water, and you can do it the other way around too. And see, look at how messy it is. You can you even tell? You can kind of tell. I just want to move it around a little bit. You can kind of see some, it's hard to tell, but like the yellow is up there, and there's some. When I first got these, I had watched people use them, but I hadn't anticipated it coming out so quickly, and I like gave it a tiny puff of a squeeze and it just went all over the place, and that was a mess. Like, do not do that. And I just kind of want to see if I can get it to move a little bit. This paper is like really sucking up the water kind of unexpectedly. I just want it to move a little bit, so maybe. I don't know. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get out another color. I'm just gonna randomly pick here. I picked up a sepia color, and this one is from Ken Oliver. And this is the one I like poofed out everywhere. Sometimes this one gets like a little tiny stuck. But it is coming out. Like, don't puff it if you get these. See, this one's got like, I think it's got some blue in it. And this thing's already pretty darn damp, but I want it to move. And now it's starting to like move a little bit. So loud noise in 3, 2, 1. And I'm just going to try to get it a little drier so that the pigment stops moving around. It doesn't got to be completely dry. It can dry off to the side. So, this might be kind of a loud episode, sorry. Alright, so it's still pretty wet, but the water's no longer has movement. So you can kind of see it. Looks pretty cool from that side too. It's slightly more muted, but there's all, I mean, it is so hard to tell, but like that sepia has like orange and yellow and blue in it, and the other one had reds and pinks and yellow. So, and then there's like this tiniest, you cannot see that at all. There is a tiny, tiny shimmer to it that it won't pick up, but I like that. I've never been very good at mixed media, even though that was like the first crafting thing I ever wanted to do was mixed media art. Because I found a woman here on YouTube and I have actually one of her stamp sets. This lady, Gabrielle Palco, I think it's Italian, it might be Greek, I'm so sorry but if I mispronounce her name, but she's here on YouTube, and I watched everything that she made and she really was my very first inspiration to want to do anything in the crafting community at all. And then from her, I discovered a vast array of paper crafting stuff and different crafting stuff. And so I love mixed media art. I am not very good at it. So what else can we play with? Oh, that flew away. Let's do that. Okay. I'm going to wet this a little bit ahead of time. And this is just this came with, I have two, and one, they came with these. So it's a fine mist sprayer. And let's just randomly pick a color. This is Merlot. When I saw women using this, it was like an immediate starburst. I wonder if they just absolutely drenched the living daylights out of their paper. That is so pretty. This one's violet. I'm just kind of randomly selecting. See? That's what I mean. I did it too hard and it was like, it can come out like lightning. I think one of the reasons why I'm not particularly good at mixed media art is that I am not very good with things that aren't like a linear idea of something, like a formulated way of crafting something. And I find it to be intimidating and a bit much sometimes for me to like make look nice. And then oftentimes when I use these types of things, I don't want to use them in projects because I don't feel like they fit anything. But I gotta get better at just trying to let loose and let go of things, which is a lot easier said than done for me. Let's see, what can I get here? I don't want to make brown. I might end up making brown though. You can also put these on like a little watercolor palette and just wet them down and then paint with them. You can do that too. I love it when they starburst like this. So I'm gonna wick away some of the water now because I don't want them to mix too much. And since it is a pigment, it's going to stick pretty well even if you lightly tap it off. It's going to dye the paper. So you don't have to worry too much about like getting too much of the color off, because when it hits, it's there. That's where it lives. Just getting some of that excess water off because it's very damp right now. I'm missing a bunch of color in here to my eye. Orange. What about a little turquoise? Is there any in the cap? Whoop, way too much. Oh boy. Oh, it's such a pretty color. You cannot see that in on the camera like at all. That is like unbelievably beautiful blue. It's like my favorite color. See, it stains. It is a dye. I wonder if I can streak it a little bit, because there's some big crystals left on there. I can just do that a little bit. Get interesting striations. Going in different directions. that looks different. Not very good. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Just move that carefully to the side because it is wet, wet, wet. I should have set up like a secondary station. Let's take a look on the back side. I almost like it better on the back than the front. Is like super wet, so I think I like this one a little better. I really like the starbursts more, and I'm just not great at achieving those. Okay, what else can you do? Excuse me. I mean, this is actual watercolor paper. It's already been dyed. This has already been dyed, so it might lift up some of the pigment, but could be neat. So I'm gonna get this nice and saturated. Now, watercolor paper is designed to both absorb the water and for it to sit on the top so that you can maneuver it and whatnot. So I have this green parade, and it's got like blues, greens, and yellows in it. There we go. Yeah, see this little starbursts? I have one that's called Storm Cloud in there, and that one's really cool. Burnt orange. I think we'll do yellow ochre. Coming out, it's just hard to tell because it's like super bright. You'd think that would be easier to see, but it's not. Okay, I'm gonna blot this darker up. Also, since watercolor paper is slightly resistant, you can get some of that pigment ink up. Well, that pigment dye up. That one's moving around a little too much. Okay, let's see. This one's called Ultramarine Blue. You can see that one right away. Look at how cool that is. It's just kind of like... it's getting a little muddied right there. So I gotta be careful. This one is... Here, let's do this one. Atlantis Burst. So it's got like blues and greens and yellows again, but like different hues. And this one's shimmery as all get out. Wow. Like, it's impossible to see, but it is metallic. I'm trying to get in these bottom edges a little bit. I think I need to spray those a little better. I want that to move around a little bit, just a little bit. Like I said, I don't want it to muddy too much. Getting away a little bit of that water that's going to end up causing it to get mud. Okay. Okay, let's do this violet brocade. Which is also very, very shimmery. That's neat. I like that. Very wet. Okay. Move just a little. Just a little. Okay. Sop some of that up. Just a little bit. I need a little right there again, don't I? Let's get that out again. A bunch just spilled out. And this looks pretty cool too. Alright, and we're gonna dry it a little bit. Sorry about that. I know that gets loud. Alright, it's still very wet, but it's dry enough to like not have the water move around on it. But now you can kind of see the shimmer and some of that pigment. Yeah, you can see the shimmer. So I actually think that looks pretty darn nifty. There's nothing on the back, so you can still use it as a page. I think that would look pretty neat as a background page to something. Or even tear it up and use it as pieces, like I'm probably going to do with like this one. Just tear up and use it as background pieces. So I only got 5 minutes left, so not a whole lot of time, but maybe we can do one more. I have these big pre-made tags. I've done them on these before and they work pretty well. I'm just not good at it. So I did it for a Galaxy one and that was awful. Okay. Speaking of, I'm gonna do black, and this does have other. You couldn't get it on the piece. I love it when they pop. Pop, pop, pop. You can make that look like marble. I think that would look pretty neat if you did, but I'm not. Okay. Yeah, let's do solar flare. Too much. Way too much right in the middle there. Just gonna put a drop. Try to get that to move. Some of those to pop. They're not wanting to pop because they're like crystals. So you gotta think of them like little crystals. You gotta like pop like sugar. That's for my fingers. There's a little bit of blue on there. Actually, that'd be a really cute bumblebee one, wouldn't it? I actually think I'm gonna leave it just like that, so I'm gonna just dry it a little bit. Dry enough. And we're almost out of time, so look at that. I like that one for like a bumblebee. This is probably the best one I've ever done, to be perfectly honest. Which is kind of sad. That it's just black and gold yellow. So, that's what I got. Alright. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope that you had a good time exploring the pigment powders a little bit with me, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye.